Hi, and welcome back to Miranda's Cauldron. I'm Miranda. I write young adult, urban fantasy, paranormal. I'm going to bring my co-host with me, and I did see that Gwen, who would be my moderator, apparently when I did the wrench thing yesterday, it didn't work. So I'm going to have to do that during the sprint. So I'll bring my guest. Hello, want to introduce yourself and all that fun stuff?
So I am a writer, now also game developer. I usually do vlog content, but you can check my channel if that's something you're interested in. Emi North. Got it. Sure.
And her link is in the chat below, I believe. I will have to double check. If not, I'll add it. We have quite a few people in already. And sorry we're late. I was going back into the YouTube trying to do the wrench, and it just ran out of time. So here is the playlist for the Under 1K marathon. And Gwenna is up next, and here is her link. And for some reason, S.A. Crow will host in about an hour from now, but I'm going for 2 hours. Had some friends popping in. Hello, Nina and Gwen and Kagami. Sorry if I butchered your name. S.A. Crow and Kay. Stephanie, Laura, banana muffins. Ooh, I like banana muffins. My granddaughter, that's her favorite muffin. And whenever we get together, I usually bake her some. But right now, I have an oven problem. So I can't do any baking. He may. Okay, that's not even close for what I put down. I didn't notice that until now. Yeah, I thought it was worth 2. I'm lurking to make brunch for the family for Mama Maggie.
All the food talk makes everyone hungry.
Yeah. I was actually having lunch during that sprint or the break. Okay, so just like when I streamed yesterday, because I don't have the bandwidth, or because I live in the country, not in the city, my internet connection, I guess, isn't the best when I have other people. So Emi's going to share one of the timers is in her collection. We're going to sprint for 25 minutes for the first 3, and then we'll see how much shorter for the last sprint to bring it up close to the hour. So you can share your timer now, and then we'll
let me
start
just see.
writing or whatever we're going to work on.
Yeah, let me see the setup here. Okay. I don't know. I'll have to remember how to share.
You go down to the little plus sign that looks like a TV screen, and then just hit share screen.
Sure. Da, da, da.
If you can't figure it, I'll just put a timer on my phone.
Oh,
there we go. Okay.
I can leave it on the timer. Do you see the timer if I leave it like this?
Nope, you have to hit the share timer.
Oh, gosh.
Will you go down where it says the little TV with the plus sign?
Yeah.
And click on that, and then at the bottom it will say share screen.
Da, da, da.
Well, in the meantime, what you feel free to anyone in the chat, like to just write typed up what they're working on during this session. And if you've signed up and followed any new channels.
I feel like I've done it, but I can't drag it into the view.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll just start it and then put a timer on my phone, and then you'll hear the chime
Don't worry, I'm
when
happy
it's
with that.
over. So I'm going to start my timer for 25 minutes and see you in 25.
Yeah.
Ho- Hopefully, you all heard that. So, how did you do? I personally spent the first 15 minutes trying to figure out what I did wrong for the wrench. I kept putting it in the wrong spot. So it's like, okay, so that's the same with when I put a few other people in. It worked for them on Monday, but I don't know what happened. And then I started journaling. How about you, Emmy?
Oh, I am currently adding a new chapter that didn't exist at all. So all I'm doing is writing what I want to add into this chapter, not the actual beautify writing, but what I thought. Basically, I'm writing a haunted house novella, and I completely skipped off the first night in the haunted house, which I feel like is such a big beat. And I'm just basically putting all the descriptions of the room that I want to put in this. Um, anyway, I want to thank Gwynna that she's already on the job in making all the links happen. Very good. We barely stay afloat without her. And honestly, that all the systems, and I want to say, like, I am dinosaur. It's really hard for me to learn the new technologies, and as Miranda already experienced, I'm like, what do you mean Discord? How do I find Discord? Anyway, uh, that a lot of us like notice that there's lots of new changes in every of the apps. So obviously, what was there 6 months ago when I was more present looks very different now.
Yeah, and I normally don't have moderators, and I did add a few, but Mama Maggie walked me through it, so those people are still there, and you got to love country internet. At least I can go online, and it doesn't buffer and usually and all that kind of stuff, so that's good. There was some chat back and forth, and finally she got her wrench, and Gwen has been putting down just little comments to keep it going, so that's very helpful. Let's see if there's any updates of what people were doing. Vixen of Fiction working on website elements. S.A. Crow, who is probably not here anymore, almost finished making my notes for this lesson pretty. I'm now going to head out and set up my stream. That was the Korean writing. So it seems like that was the gist of the chat. So how about we just get back into another 25 minutes
Absolutely.
and go from there? And maybe this time I can actually get my stuff done instead of just dealing with other things. So we'll start the timer again for 25. See you in 25. Happy writing. Well, I jumped. So, how did everybody do? Are you getting progress, working on your whatever projects you're working on? We had a few people pop in. Let's
I turned my
see.
list of items I want to mention from 140 words into 350, but I usually don't count words, so it's one of those things.
Yeah, for me, it depends on what I'm working on. If I count words or not. I haven't written anything new in so long because I've been doing final edits, developmental edits, and all that stuff. But hopefully next month, I'm going to be writing a few new chapters for one of my series, which is of Solus. So that's going to be fun. I need to write more to get the beats out there, as well as bring in more tension. Heather popped in. Let's see if there's any else. Elsa is popped in. Let's see. We have a comment. That's Gwen. That sprint. I pulled up the scholarship application from my college and started on an essay. Ooh, fun.
Everyone is so serious today with their tasks.
Yeah, exactly. Which is good. And that's one of the reasons why I love doing the under 1K marathon, because it's basically sprint from back to back to back. And if it's not a sprint, it's a like the whole hour for just a break and chit chatting and things. And then this way, then we get to find new sprinters, writers that we want to follow and participate in their sprints. I'm a member of the Heart Rhythms writing community, and they have sprints pretty near all day. Well, not all day, but every day and on special events. But there's a lot of blanks. So hopefully that there's going to be some people I'll be able to continue writing with after the marathon. It's days that there's no one sprinting that I sprint with. And so instead of working on my goals and my writing, I just veg out, play games, watch TV, read. You know, the stuff that we do need, but do we really need to read and play games and watch TV for 4 to 8 hours? Probably not, unless you're not feeling well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got all my caught up on my journaling, and I'm going to start with my tarot draw for just decided a couple days this week, and hopefully continuing on. I'm just going to draw 3 or 4 cards and just see how my week's going to go, or if I have a question. And one thing I do like to do on my channel is draw animal spirit cards, tarot cards, moonology cards. So today I'm going to draw a cat wisdom card.
I love when people do that, so I'm just gonna take it all in, see what's happening.
Okay, hiding.
Oh,
The little
wow. So
bunny is
adorable.
hiding the little kitty. Good question. What are we hiding? From others, from ourselves? That's how I take it as. And I'm just going to look up in the book and see what else it says. What are you hiding from? You have everything you need to deal with the situation that has presented itself. There is no need for hesitation.
Sure. I thought it
Very
was just fitting brilliantly because currently I haven't really quite made the core of this chapter that I'm trying to insert, but usually I'm putting the titles in the chapters. I don't know if you're gonna stay or not, but currently the title that I put on was Habits That We Hide. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. Right?
Mm, that
So I
is
think this
neat.
is
So
perfect.
you normally put chapter titles in your writing?
Not, it depends on the mood that I am at. Sometimes it's helpful because it gives you that core message that has to unite the entire chapter. And then you can always take them out, you know? It doesn't have to stay.
Exactly. Like I know when I did my first draft for Witches of Solace, I won't even tell you how long ago because let's just say my children were actually children and now they're young adults and parents of babies.
Yeah.
So when I wrote my first few drafts, each chapter had a title. And then now I think I'm going to go through and pick like a few words from that chapter has a chapter title.
Mhm. I generally like to play with like a structure or give myself new challenges that no one else probably gives to themselves. The other day I was thinking, I think I think we watched the second movie of Wicked and I was like, oh, I really like how musicals use repetition and like how we use the song that when repeated and it has a different emotional impact. And I'm like, I would really like to do this in my fiction, just pick something that is in repetition but sounds differently. So that kind of thing. Yeah, just having a play.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so there. Let's see. Just see what people have been working on. Heather, I've been editing some email copy to my local community college. Do you work from home or do you get to meet the people you do edits for? Elsa says, no hiding, but some of the characters are in disguise. Ooh, that is a very good point. I know I have some people hiding under different disguises in my series. Like for one, she's kind of like the camp counselor, happy go lucky, friends with everyone, but in reality, in book one, she's the villain.
Yeah. I mean, like it's just amazing, writing series or very, very big books, right? Is so difficult. You probably have a cast of like over 50 characters and just keeping
Oh,
it all in
yeah.
your head is really hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I write with multiple point of views. For Witches
Oh
of
dear.
Solace, I have 4 main characters, and then I probably have additional 4 or 5 characters that have a point of view chapter, like maybe 2 or 3 in the chapter. And then my other one, I only have 2 point of view characters, and then my second book I have 4, and then the
Yeah.
third book I'll have 6 probably. But they're at a camp for elementals and there's kids alone. There's like 40 of them.
I know. I've written like a dark academia, sort of like a academy school thing. And I know that you need to all have those background characters to just, keep it all functional. So it's really, really
Mhm.
hard. Even editing it was like super hard to go back and just making sure all the characters are tight. So I understand why you're taking time and making sure it's all glistening.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I know personally when I wrote it, I didn't think of the story beats. And that's one of the reasons why I have to write in so many new chapters to bring in beats that I totally missed.
Yeah.
It's
I
easy to
mean,
do. I've been working on this for so long. It's like they're my
yeah,
kids.
because this
So Sarah
definitely,
popped into like the button, happy sprinting
yeah,
everyone, which is a good idea to get back to sprinting for another 20. Let's bring it down to 20 minutes. And so then it's going to be right at the half hour mark when we'll start up again. So see you
sure.
in 20 minutes.
Thank you.
And that was the end of that short sprint. How did everybody do? Had some people leave. Gwen is setting up for her own stream, so pop over there next. And how did you do, Emi?
That was perfect actually for amount of time because I do get distracted. So I actually managed to do, I also have multiple POVs, no, multiple narrators. So I managed to do the second part, or just the beginning of the second narrator, which is perfect because I end up rewriting same sections over and over and over and over again a lot of times before I can say it's presentable. So yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to the revisions and revisions and revisions. Yeah, I can so relate to that. And it takes as long as it takes for your book to be ready for the wild.
But as
Fixing
you say
is
yourself, actually, as you said yourself, when you going back, the original of your book was born very long ago, and when you go back to it, it might not feel the same to you because you changed as a person. Do you know what I'm saying?
oh, for sure. Like I know I set my book aside long enough to write 3 other books. And so I was going back and I was reading it. And when I was reading it the first time through after being away for probably like 5 years, there was so many passages that I read that's like, I don't remember this. Or I'm thinking, how is this 16-year-old boy connected to the coven? I have no idea. I just couldn't remember. So luckily I have pages and pages of notes. So it was easy to get back into
My
the
biggest
flow.
question is about this. Do you ever find that because you've grown as a person, when you come back, you want to pivot it completely different direction and change the story?
Some a little bit. Like I just recently had 2 critique partners read the entire manuscript. And I was happy to get readers because there were so many secrets weaved in that I wasn't sure how to present it to the reader before I presented it to the kids, and I was mixed feelings with that. So it really helped, and it was just I know this time around I'm going to have to make a lot of changes to make it flow better. But when I wrote my previous one, I had to the same idea, split up chapters and change things. But I didn't let it sit as long. I only let it sit for maybe like a couple of months before I went back into it. But it's true, like you do change as a writer. And I've heard that once you publish, never go back and reread your first book because it's going to be so different than it was, like, say, if you published like 2 years ago or 5 years ago, that if you read it later,
Yeah.
you want to change it again.
Yeah.
Because,
For
like you
me,
said,
for me, it's absolutely, and that's why I sometimes can't let my project sit for too long because it will pivot too much from what was my message at that time, let's say.
mhm.
Yeah. Oh,
And that's another good point that
yeah.
if you do let it sit for too long, it
Yeah.
just changes
Yeah.
because like you change.
Mm.
Yeah, that's so true.
Do you mind if I show my book at all?
Oh
I
no, go
actually
right
didn't do on
ahead.
any, I didn't do on other streams. They were shorter, but I thought what you said, it was like a year or 2 years ago now. So you can check it all out if you want to, but
Oh,
most of the people here
nice.
don't read middle grade. It's called Cookie in the Sprite Garden. It's very like even the corners have images and so on. It's
Oh,
pretty. If you
wow.
don't like the writing, at least it's pretty.
Yeah, and if you have kids, it'll be perfect that you get for your kids, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I have
I
a
think, but the
copy.
kids, again, speaking about my own book, I feel like kids are growing out very differently now. We much earlier become teenagers. I think my nephew became teenager probably at 7, which feels, very, very quick. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes, for
have your book
sure.
to show?
Yeah,
No.
this is just a proof copy. So it doesn't actually have the proper cover,
Yeah.
but I needed to go through it in book format so I can read it and fix it and all this stuff. And a shout out to Mama Maggie who put on a video on her channel, and I just
Yeah.
walked right through it. I just have to figure out when I'm done
Yeah.
to go for like a real proof copy to put my
Yeah.
own my good copy. My daughter-in-law created it for me,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's
That's nice.
similar, like it still has a flame on the cover, but it's got
Yeah.
the character's hand with her flame on it. So that's going to be hopefully a summer project that I'll be able to
I
dive
think the
back into
most
that.
important is what I'm hearing, that you're putting a lot of love into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to just do another, let's say 15 minutes. So then we'll have a little bit of time before our next streamer. So I'll set my timer to go for 15 minutes. So that will be, let's see, so it will be about 10 to the top of the hour. So see
Yeah.
you in 15 minutes. And that's it for us. Okay, let's see if there's any follow-up comments in the chat. I don't. Doesn't look like it. Oh, from before, Heather got some documents and made lunch. And Vixen of Fiction is also up for lunch. We have an Andy pop in. Hello, hello. So how did you get done?
Oh, I'm just like distracted in different ways right now because I know we're close to the end. So just doing all the different things at the same time.
I got my 7 cards of my tarot all figured out, so that was good. That was one thing off my task list to do today, so that is good. So that means for the rest of the day, or at least for the next 2 hours, I can actually do something with writing. So that's always helpful.
Yeah, I'm hoping that all the people who went to have some lunch will also be replenished for productive streams, you know?
Exactly. Okay, so I will see you guys all back later. You'll probably see me in the chats over at other people's sprints. And I'm back here again Friday morning at 10 a.m., which is a little earlier than I normally stream, but I can do it. It's not like I sleep until noon.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for Miranda to having me over to co-host with her, especially me who doesn't really bring a big stream following and doesn't know how to deal with this technology anymore. So like it's really nice. Thank you.
Not a problem. And I normally sprint a couple times a week. And I may have two people in chats. I may have like 6. So I'm just doing it basically for myself, and I can't do too much when I'm streaming online, so it gives me an excuse to do some journaling and tarot cards and all the offline things. So thank you so much for stopping in, everybody, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye for now.
Bye.